Man, the weather outside is frightful, but baseball is so delightful. Spring training has arrived. The Chicago White Sox will be in action today versus the Chicago Cubs. And even though the Chicagoland area is like in the middle of an active tornado, we got baseball today in Mesa. Look, we're going to discuss how important it is for Jonathan Canning to get off to a great start. Plus, Munetaka Murakami. He's here, baby. We're going to get into it right after the intro.
Welcome to Chicago White Sox Central, your number one place for all Sox news and content.
Good morning, Chicago White Sox fans. Welcome to the first spring training episode of Chicago White Sox Central. It's your boy, Big Kev, holding it down for the Chicago White Sox. Y'all already know what it is. Holding it down for the South Side, of course. Hit me up at Big Kev from the Shy, Big Kev from DACHI on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And then, of course, you can follow me at Sox Central Pod over on on TikTok, X, Twitter. And then, of course, Shy White Sox Central at gmail.com. And you can like, comment, share, follow, hit that notification bell. Let's get right into it, man. It's exciting. I know it's chilly outside. We done had fall spring for about a week or so, like 60 degrees. Now we back down into the 40s, and it is brisk because it's windy outside. I was getting blown around this morning, taking my kid to we had donuts with dads at his school this morning. So we definitely went to his school and he showed me around. It was a good time. Shout out to my boy, Lil Kev. But man, we're gonna get right into today's content. Last season, right-handed pitcher Jonathan Canning got off to a pretty good start for the Chicago White Sox. He had a 1-0 loss to the Angels. That was that stretch where the Chicago White Sox pitchers didn't give up any runs, their starting pitchers, for like the first 5 or 6 games. He pitched 5 innings and gave up 4 hits, 3 walks, and 0 earned run in that start. But the rest of the season was pretty much a mixed bag for Jonathan Canning. In the month of April, he had a 5.33 ERA in 5 games pitched. He went 1-3 with 1 no decision. And then in May, he came down. He was pretty decent. He had what do you have? 3.77 ERA in 5 games pitched, but he went 1-3 again with another no decision. And I don't blame him because last season the Chicago White Sox offense definitely left their pitchers hanging a lot. Then June happened. He only pitched twice, like June 2nd and like June 29th last year. His ERA in those 2 games, though, were 9.0 with 1 loss and another no decision. I think that was one of the games. I think that June 2nd game, they lost to the Detroit Tigers 13-3 or something like that. So that's part of the reason why his ERA ballooned to that in that month. And July was another up and down month for Jonathan Canning. He had a 5.20 ERA. In 5 games, he went 2-1 with another no decision. But he had 2 no decisions in that one. But the Chicago White Sox went 4-1 during that stretch. So they started to win some games with Jonathan Canning pitching, but he did have a 5.20 ERA. Now, had he kept that trajectory of the high 4s, low 5s, he would have been fine, right? The White Sox were a bad team, so it's not like they were going to just jettison him because he was struggling. But this dude, in the month of August, he had an 11.74 ERA in 3 games. And he didn't even pitch a lot. It was just 7 2/3 innings, those 3 games for 11.74 ERA. He gave up 11 hits, 10 runs, 1 home run, and 3 walks in 7 2/3 innings. But he did strike out 10 batters across that stretch too. So White Sox decided to demote him, send him back to Charlotte. He struggled a little bit there, but that's where he finished out the season. So for the year that Jonathan Canning pitched 103.2 innings, 103 2/3 innings, gave up 116 hits, 69 runs, 67 earned runs, 19 home runs, and 38 walks. Could go along with to 86 strikeouts and a 5.82 ERA. So why are we saying all of this? Jonathan Cannon is starting today for the Chicago White Sox in their first spring training and matchup versus the Cubs, of course. And he's going to have to prove that he wants to be on this team. The Chicago White Sox loaded up on arms in the offseason. They picked up Anthony Kay. They picked up Sir Anthony Dominguez. They already got Shane Burke. They already got Sean Burke. They already got Shane Smith, Davis Martin. So that starting lineup is pretty much set, right? But they're going to have arms waiting in the wings just in case somebody gets injured. You know how baseball is. Somebody's too tired. They need a day off. You call them up, bring them up from AAA. So Jonathan Cannon wants to be the first in line to end up coming up to pitch for the Chicago White Sox. And honestly, he expressed it himself. He talked about it with Scott Merkin over on MLB.com. He said, looking at this year as a whole, I think it's going to end up being the most pivotal season in my career. And I did listen to him talk to ESPN 1000. No, it was it ESPN 1000 or 104.3 to score? One of them on the radio. And he was talking about how important it is to have a strong season, how he struggled with a few injuries last year. He wants to come in and play a full season. He's trying to get stronger and healthier. So shout out to Jonathan Cannon, but it's going to be tough for him to crack this roster and stay on this roster. Today's spring training start is all about proving that he has what it takes to contribute positively to this team. He'll have 2 innings to show us today what he's got. And the starting rotation is pretty much set. So unless he's completely lights out, Cannon he'll likely be optioned to Charlotte, where he'll have to bide his time until a slot opens up for him to make it back to the roster. But if he pitches lights out all spring, maybe he could knock a Eric Fetty off or a Sean Burke or whoever. But we will see, because even Mike Vassell, Noah Schultz, Hagen Smith, like all of these guys are waiting for their opportunity to pitch. So Jonathan Cannon is going to have to work hard to maintain his spot as one of the front runners come up when the Chicago White Sox need it. So I like him. But if the Chicago White Sox are going to take the leap that I'm expecting them to take this year, 20 to 25, 30 game leap, they're going to need reliable arms in that bullpen. So let me know what y'all think, though. Do you think that Jonathan Cannon is going to show that he has what it takes to be an important piece of this pitching rotation? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But moving on, it's spring training, so we won't be getting all lathered up for the Chicago Cubs versus White Sox rivalry. Now, I know some of y'all not going to be able to help yourselves, but hey, let it go. These two teams today are just going to be evaluating talent. We're going to see players that ain't even going to be in the major leagues playing. So let it go. Don't be just White Sox South Side, North Side. This ain't about that. This is about evaluating talent. So with that being said, I am very, very excited to see what Munetaka Murakami has to bring to the table for the Chicago White Sox. He's a power hitter, and he sparked the flames of hope on the South Side. Make no mistake about it. People are excited to see if this guy is all he's cracked up to be. So, Japanese players have historically struggled during spring training. For whatever reason, they're adjusting to the velocity, adjusting to the weather, adjusting to just being in the United States. But it would be awesome. It'd be awesome to see if Murakami can go ahead and knock one out the park today. That would be an incredible sight to see, and it would bode well for the future of the Chicago White Sox. I'd also like to see if he could show some plate discipline, because he had a high strikeout rate over in Japan. I think he was down there at 29%, but he also has a high walk rate. So I'm interested to see which of those traits are going to translate over here to the States. White Sox hitting coach Derek Showman already has noticed how hard Munetaka works. He said that he does not shy away from the work. He's been very clear about wanting the information, wants to utilize the resources that we have. More times than not, it might be trying to pull him out of the cage and remind him to breathe more than having to push him in the cage to actually get work done. The guy works really hard. It's been fun to see. And he has a nice workout routine and everything. As far as the batting cages, as far as lifting weights and everything is concerned, you can check that out over on MLB.com. It's been great to hear all the good things about Munetaka. But hey, We got to see it. You got to put it on wax, as my boy Bobby like to say over on the Shy Bulls podcast and NFL Central and Chicago Bears Central. But I digress. The World Baseball Classic starts on February 27th. Mooney is probably going to be leaving on February 26th to head over there. So we're going to get a small sample size. We're not going to get a complete full spring training from Mooney, but I'm excited to see what he does in the Cactus League over the next couple of games, starting today, of course. Now, we're also going to Will Venable didn't really give too much information about what the lineup was going to look like today, but he did say that he's going to play a lot of the players that's going to be going to the World Baseball Classic. So you can definitely expect to see Kyle Teal, Curtis Mead, Sam Antonacci, who I'm excited to see. Those guys are going to be playing pretty much, early and often for the next couple of games before they head over to the World Baseball Classic. But let us know what you think in the comments about Munetaka, about Kyle Teal. What are you expecting to see from these guys today versus the Chicago Cubs? I am happy that baseball is back. I don't care how cold it is outside. I don't care what month it is. It's middle of February, and we're getting baseball, baby. Football's over, so we need something to get excited about. But let us know who you're most excited to see today. Don't be surprised if you see the White Sox utilize 20, 25, 30 players today, yo. It's not going to be what you think. If you haven't watched spring training baseball in a while, especially for the Chicago White Sox, expect to see a bunch of faces that you're not going to see in the regular season. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right, so y'all already know what to do. Hit me up at Big Kev from the Shy, Big Kev from DACHI. Sox Central Pod, Shy White Sox Central at gmail.com. Don't forget to follow the rest of the Chi-Town Sports Central family. Type in your favorite Chicago sports team, put the word Central behind it, and you're going to find one of us, as well as NBA Central, NFL Central, and the Shy Bulls podcast with C-Dub and Bobby. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys all spring training long. Like, comment, share, follow, hit that notification bell. It's your boy Big Kev holding it down for the South Side. And we're going to holler at you guys next time. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.